In the world of military aviation, few sights are as awe-inspiring as the United States Air Force's largest aircraft launching into action during high-intensity flight operations, when raw size, unmatched capability, and strategic dominance come together in a single aircraft. The result is a marvel of engineering that reflects the power and precision of the U.S. military. At the heart of this spectacle stand the legendary Lockheed C-5M Super Galaxy, a towering giant of the skies and the largest aircraft in the U.S. military arsenal. As it roars down the runway with its four massive General Electric CF6 turbofan engines unleashing over 50,000 pounds of thrust each, this beast isn't just taking off. It's launching a symbol of American reach, readiness, and resolve into the skies. The C-5M is no ordinary cargo hauler. It's a strategic backbone that moves America's military might across continents in record time. Whether transporting main battle tanks, massive helicopters, missile systems, or even fully equipped combat units, the C-5M is built to carry the mission anywhere, anytime. Watching this monster maneuver during intense flight operations is like witnessing a flying warehouse with the agility of a bird of prey. But make no mistake, behind every smooth takeoff and calculated landing lies a web of rigorous coordination, split-second decision-making, and elite crew performance that ensures nothing is left to chance. From the moment the crew board the aircraft, a symphony of precision begins. Flight engineers inspect every inch of the 247-foot-long fuselage. Pilots go through mission briefings and review every possible weather, threat, and landing variable, and loadmasters secure cargo that can weigh more than 270,000 pounds. Once airborne, the C-5M defies its size, climbing to altitude with surprising grace, capable of flying over 5,500 miles without refueling, and even more when paired with mid-air refueling tankers like the KC-135 Stratotanker. This plane is the unsung hero of America's global military presence. In Afghanistan, it delivered essential equipment in hostile zones. During humanitarian missions, it brought hope to disaster-struck regions. In the Pacific, it supports island-hopping logistics and sustains rapid force projection. What's even more incredible is its versatility under pressure. During high-tempo operations, it's not just about flying from point A to point B. It's about precision-time delivery to forward bases in active war zones, where landing strips may be short, threats are high, and every minute counts. From the cargo deck to the flight deck, every mission with the C-5M is an orchestration of discipline, training, and tactical mastery. The crew must adapt to constantly shifting global dynamics, geopolitical tensions, extreme weather, unpredictable terrain, and enemy surveillance. Inside the cockpit, advanced avionics systems give pilots real-time access to mission data, airspace alerts, and threat detection systems. The fly-by-wire controls reduce pilot workload and increase responsiveness, allowing this behemoth to perform tight turns, evasive maneuvers, and precise descents even in the most demanding conditions. Below deck, the cavernous cargo hold spans 121 feet long, with an unobstructed height of 13.5 feet. Big enough to transport two M1 Abrams tanks, or 6 Apache helicopters, or a full Patriot missile battery. It can even carry outsized cargo that no other aircraft can accommodate. And what's more impressive, it can load and unload simultaneously from the front and rear thanks to its distinctive nose tilt and rear ramp system. This is speed and efficiency at scale, unmatched by any aircraft in the world. But the C-5M doesn't operate alone. During full-scale flight operations, it works alongside an armada of U.S. military aircraft. F-22 Raptors provide top cover against enemy interceptors. C-17 Globemasters offer tactical support and medium-range lift, and area refuelers keep the entire fleet in the sky longer. In these coordinated operations, the C-5M often leads the charge. Its sheer lift capacity making it the first to deliver the heaviest, most mission-critical assets. Each sortie is a massive operation in itself. Dozens of personnel, minute-to-minute coordination with air traffic control, threat recon units, and base commanders. Whether it's midnight departures in complete radio silence or daylight landings under the eye of international observers, the aircraft performance never falters. Its 28-wheel landing gear allows it to land on semi-prepared runways, absorbing shock that would cripple lesser planes. This reliability, even under the most stressful circumstances, makes it a cornerstone of U.S. global strategy. In recent months, the C-5M has been increasingly active across Europe, especially near NATO's eastern flank, delivering air defense systems, armored vehicles, and critical command equipment to U.S. allies in Poland, Romania, and the Baltics. As tensions rise globally, the C-5M serves as a powerful reminder that the U.S. military can deploy overwhelming power and logistic support anywhere in the world at a moment's notice. Behind the scenes, the maintenance crews and ground personnel work round the clock to keep these giants mission ready. Each aircraft is equipped with diagnostic systems that constantly monitor engine performance, fuel usage, hydraulics, and structural integrity. Maintenance isn't optional. It's mission critical. A single mischeck can mean mission failure. That's why every bolt, cable, and switch is scrutinized before every mission. And let's not forget the pilots. Men and women trained in one of the toughest airlift programs on Earth, capable of flying this massive aircraft through hostile airspace in total blackout conditions, or through Category 5 storm systems with pinpoint accuracy. Their professionalism and skill are unmatched, often operating on minimal sleep, juggling global time zones, and maintaining alertness across multi-day missions. It's not just strength, it's precision under pressure. The C-5M also plays a key role in joint operations with allied forces, often participating in exercises like RIMPAC, Red Flag, and Defender Europe, where interoperability and coalition logistics are tested to the limit. These operations aren't simulations. They're stress tests for global warfare readiness. Every takeoff is a statement. The U.S. can mobilize its military power across oceans faster and more efficiently than any nation on Earth. Watching the C-5M in action, lifting off into the skies under a blazing sun or landing on a fog-covered strip in the Arctic, it becomes clear this aircraft is not just metal and fuel. It's a moving fortress, a lifeline, a symbol of American engineering, and an enduring testament to the strength, reach, and commitment of the U.S. Armed Forces. As it thunders overhead during intense flight operations, with afterburners humming and ground crews saluting from below, you realize you're not just watching a plane. You're witnessing American power in motion. The C-5M Super Galaxy is more than an aircraft. It's a global game changer, and when it takes the skies, the world pays attention. As we continue deep into the heart of America's largest military aircraft operations, the story of the C-5M Super Galaxy becomes even more riveting when we explore the environments it operates in and the geopolitical stakes tied to every mission it flies. These flight operations aren't just exercises. They're rehearsals for real-world contingencies. Every movement of the Super Galaxy is a calculated message, a deterrent to adversaries and a lifeline for allies. Consider the role this aircraft played during the evacuation efforts in Afghanistan, when the clock was ticking and every minute mattered. As chaos unfolded on the ground, the C-5M was called into action alongside C-17s, tasked with flying out not only U.S. troops and citizens, but also tens of thousands of Afghan allies. The aircraft's cavernous interior was converted into a temporary safe zone, massive enough to carry hundreds of evacuees per sortie. In these moments, you realize the true strategic utility of this aircraft isn't just its size, it's its timing, speed, and ability to function under fire. Flying through threat-heavy zones, dodging potential surface-to-air missile threats, the C-5MS defensive systems kicked into gear. Radar warning receivers, countermeasures dispensers, and tactical evasion routes that only the most elite pilots could execute. The mission? Clear. Don't just fly, dominate the airspace while saving lives. This is the unfiltered reality of U.S. global force projection. When diplomacy fails, logistics become war fighting, and in that transformation, the C-5M is the spearhead. In the Indo-Pacific theater, where the balance of power teeters amid growing tensions in the South China Sea, the Super Galaxy is once again central. With China rapidly building artificial islands and deploying missile systems, the U.S. has responded not just with warships and fighter jets, but with logistic supremacy. The C-5M flies from Andersen Air Force Base in Guam, from Kadena in Okinawa, and from Diego Garcia, hauling advanced radar systems, THAAD missile batteries, and even entire forward operating bases and parts. Yes, you read that right. The C-5M can fly in prefab shelters, generators, and fully equipped mobile command centers, turning remote islands into operational outposts within hours. And when conflict drills escalate into full-blown joint operations, the Super Galaxy doesn't just deliver, it becomes a linchpin of deployment timelines. No carrier strike group or marine expeditionary unit can function efficiently without airlift support that arrives before them, securing logistics, fueling capability, and operational flexibility. At 840,000 pounds at max takeoff weight, the C-5M may seem too massive to maneuver in tight airfields, but its engineers built it for just that. Its high-wing design, multiple landing gear bogies, and reverse thrust capability mean it can touch down and turn around in environments that would cripple other strategic aircraft. And when needed, it can operate semi-independently, with onboard power systems, lighting, and hydraulic controls that let it load and unload without needing external ground support. This autonomy is what makes it unstoppable in contested environments where runways are damaged, control towers are offline, or infrastructure is non-existent. Its reliability in extreme weather is another reason why U.S. Command relies on it for Arctic and Antarctic missions. Flying from Elmendorf Air Force Base in Alaska to forward outposts on ice-covered runways in Greenland or even McMurdo Station in Antarctica, the C-5M adapts with precision. Cold weather kits, de-icing systems, and specialized maintenance allow it to perform missions where most aircraft will be grounded. Whether delivering research equipment, surveillance systems, or long-range communication gear to ice stations monitoring Russian submarine activity, the Super Galaxy is America's Arctic anchor in a warming, more contested polar region. Meanwhile, in Europe, the situation grows ever more tense with Russian aggression pressing into Ukraine and threatening NATO's eastern front. Here, too, the C-5M is at work daily, visible on radar trackers as it crosses the Atlantic from Dover Air Force Base or Ramstein, Germany. It delivers Patriot missile launchers, HIMARS systems, and even entire Stryker brigades to Poland, Estonia, and Lithuania. These aren't just military flights. They are signals to Moscow that the U.S. doesn't need weeks to respond to aggression. It needs hours. And when that response comes, it comes heavy, fast, and unstoppable. The aircraft's psychological impact on adversaries is as important as its physical delivery of hardware. Seeing a C-5M land at a forward base is a visual confirmation that the U.S. isn't just talking about security, it's deploying it. And for allies, it's reassurance that when the chips are down, America doesn't just promise help, it shows up with everything. Let's not forget that the aircraft capability is multiplied tenfold during combined arms exercises. In operations like Defender Europe, Sabre Guardian, and Rapid Trident, the C-5M is at the center of live-fire drills, transporting Abrams tanks for cross-country convoy movements, or delivering advanced drones and command units to mountainous terrain. In these war games, the Super Galaxy serves not only the Air Force but joint commands from the Army, Navy, and Marines, as well as partners from NATO, ensuring seamless interoperability. The aircraft's crew is trained to coordinate with multinational forces, operating across different time zones, air traffic protocols, and even languages, all while maintaining strict U.S. military standards. This level of cooperation is essential in preparing for large-scale, multi-theater conflicts. And when natural disasters strike, be it an earthquake in Turkey, a tsunami in Indonesia, or a hurricane in the Gulf of Mexico, the C-5M flips into humanitarian mode. Within 24 hours of a major disaster, it's in the sky, loaded with everything from search and rescue teams to field hospitals, food supplies, water purification units, and heavy construction equipment. It lands in devastated regions and turns into a floating operations center, coordinating with NGOs, FEMA, international relief organizations, and allied militaries. This dual role, warfighter and lifesaver, is what truly elevates the C-5M from a military machine to a symbol of American global leadership. As we go behind the scenes of these intense flight operations, we find a human element that makes the aircraft extraordinary. The flight crew, composed of officers and enlisted airmen, undergo months of specialized training at air mobility command schools. They learn how to fly this behemoth in every imaginable scenario: blackout landings, electronic warfare conditions, GPS-denied environments, and enemy radar tracking. Simulators replicate missile threats, terrain following emergencies, and in-air mechanical failures. Also, the real missions proceed without flaw. Maintenance crews train on modular components, enabling them to swap engines, repair avionics, or rewire critical systems within hours. Logistics officers master the art of staging cargo for maximum balance, fuel efficiency, and offloading priority. The precision of these teams ensures that a mission that takes 18 hours of flight time executes with military timing down to second. And supporting it all is the infrastructure. Global air bases, refueling tankers circling in coordinated airspace, AWACS providing radar coverage, cyber units protecting data links, and intelligence teams feeding threat data in real time. Every Super Galaxy mission is the tip of a spear supported by a global command chain stretching from the Pentagon to forward air bases in every hemisphere. It's easy to look at the C-5M and admire its size, its strength, its speed. But when you understand the network behind it, the pilots, engineers, commanders, analysts, satellite operators, and ground crews, you begin to understand the full scale of American air power. This isn't just hardware. It's a fusion of science, training, dedication, and purpose. And when this fusion comes together during high-stakes, high-tempo flight operations, the C-5M becomes an airborne juggernaut no enemy can match. As the sun sets over an airbase and the runway lights flicker on, another mission readies. Cargo is secured. Fuel is topped. Pilots brief one last time. The massive nose lifts its troop salute. Engines roar to life. And the C-5M accelerates with unstoppable force. With each mission it completes, whether in combat, deterrence, or disaster response, it reaffirms why America's largest military plane is also one of its most vital. It's a workhorse, a war horse, and a guardian of global peace through power. This is a legacy of the Super Galaxy. And as long as the flag flies, it will fly with it, anywhere, anytime, at a moment's notice. As the journey of the C-5M Super Galaxy continues through the skies above combat zones, disaster-stricken regions, and geopolitically vital theaters, it's clear that this aircraft is not just a backbone of U.S. military logistics. It's a high-value strategic asset, unrivaled in scale and unmatched in adaptability. At any moment, it may be called upon to execute a high-speed transoceanic deployment, reroute midair due to emerging threats, or land in the middle of a conflict zone under blackout conditions. These are not hypothetical missions. They're standard operating procedures. The aircraft must be ready to deliver missile defense systems to Israel in the middle of a rocket barrage, or bring special operations equipment to a classified base in North Africa, or even assist NATO in real time with rapid mobility in the event of Russian troop movements in the Baltics. The strategic calculus is this. If the U.S. wants to project power anywhere in the world, the C-5M makes that projection immediate and overwhelming. When a crisis unfolds, timelines compress, and delays can mean the loss of lives or the loss of tactical advantage. That's why the C-5M's capability to fly over 5,500 miles without refueling, and much farther with in-air refueling, makes it a global game changer. In mere hours, it can leap across oceans and continents to insert combat vehicles, satellite arrays, radar jammers, and even intercontinental ballistic missile parts. It does all this without needing a single external crane or forklift. With built-in loading ramps, hydraulic lifts, and a distinctive kneeling feature, the C-5M lowers itself to ground to receive or deploy equipment directly. That makes it a field commander's dream. You don't wait for infrastructure to catch up to you. The plane becomes the infrastructure. Consider what happened during Pacific Resolve, an exercise designed to simulate a sudden outbreak of hostilities in the South China Sea. With tensions high and diplomatic channels on edge, the U.S. conducted a massive pre-positioning operation across Allied airstrips in the Philippines and Australia. The C-5M played a central role, arriving with joint radar systems, next-gen communications nodes, fuel bladders, and even missile interceptors in record time. The speed of these deployments made headlines, not because they were publicized, but because foreign military radars picked up super galaxies, landing one after another with clockwork precision. These were not shows of force. They were proof of capability, hard evidence that the U.S. could move more equipment faster and farther than any adversary could respond to. And that capability doesn't exist in a vacuum. The C-5M is fully integrated into the Joint All-Domain Command and Control JDC2 strategy, where land, sea, air, space, and cyber assets operate in synchronized real-time. Every flight path, every cargo manifest, every fueling point is data optimized. The aircraft relays telemetry mid-flight. Its position, route, cargo status, and even weather impact are monitored via satellite, uplinked to command centers that adjust regional deployments based on evolving needs. It's not just about airlift. It's about being part of a living, thinking machine of war readiness. And yet, the C-5MS contribution isn't limited to high-end conflict. It's deeply embedded in the fabric of alliance assurance and peacekeeping. In humanitarian missions, it's the first to arrive and often the last to leave. When COVID-19 struck globally, the super galaxy carried vast shipments of PPE, ventilators, and mobile clinics to dozens of countries. When earthquakes leveled cities in Turkey and Syria, the C-5M delivered search and rescue dogs, heavy excavators, and trauma teams from U.S. and NATO partners. These missions save thousands of lives, and they do it under the harshest conditions. Flooded runways, debris-filled landing zones, zero visibility. All become routine for the highly trained air crews who view every flight as both duty and sacrifice. Because for them, it's never about the aircraft. It's about the mission. That mindset is forged in air mobility command schools, refined in every sortie, and tested in every real-world emergency. These crews log thousands of flight hours in peace and in war, often flying back-to-back global missions with little rest, little praise, and absolute resolve. Behind every successful deployment is a maintenance crew working 16-hour shifts on icy tarmacs. Behind every seamless operation is a logistics planner balancing weight limits, diplomatic clearances, and timing to the second. At the center of it all is the C-5M, that massive, humming, groaning beast of burden, always ready to move what must be moved. It's an aircraft so large it can carry 281,000 pounds of cargo, but designed so precisely that even a single misplaced pound is recalculated for aerodynamic effect. It's equipped with General Electric CF6 engines, pushing out over 51,000 pounds of thrust each, giving it the brute power to take off from short runways with full loads. Its pressurized cargo hold is climate-controlled, allowing sensitive electronics, satellites, and even live animals to be transported safely. Its crew of 7 includes 2 pilots, 2 flight engineers, and 3 loadmasters, all of whom must function with surgical accuracy under extreme pressure. But what sets the C-5M apart isn't just its physical scale. It's its endurance, its legacy, and its symbolic power. It's been in continuous service since 1970, upgraded through decades to become the modern super galaxy. It served in Vietnam, the Gulf War, Iraq, Afghanistan, and countless other operations, each time redefining what strategic airlift means. And while many aircraft become obsolete or phased out, the C-5M only gets more valuable. That's why the Air Force is investing heavily into its long-term viability, modernizing avionics, reinforcing airframes, enhancing survivability, and integrating AI-based maintenance diagnostics. This ensures that the plane will serve deep into the 2040s and possibly beyond, as the bedrock of American global reach. As other nations race to develop heavy lift capabilities, they remain decades behind. China's Y-20 and Russia's and 124 may look formidable on paper, but they lack the infrastructure, global logistics network, and combat-proven integration that make the C-5M indispensable. No other aircraft in the world has a combination of payload, range, automation, self-deployment, and NATO-certified interoperability. And in a world growing more volatile by the day, where conflict flashpoints appear overnight, that combination becomes priceless. The C-5M Super Galaxy is not just the largest military plane in the U.S. arsenal. It is the enabler of every joint force operation, the floating bridge between U.S. policy and U.S. power. Whether fly into a forward base under cover of darkness or roaring down the tarmac in full daylight as a statement of resolve, its presence tells the world that America is not just watching, it is acting. And as long as U.S. global interests remain diverse, far-reaching and under threat, this aircraft will remain at the tip of the spear. When nations need hope, it delivers relief. When allies need assurance, it delivers defense. And when enemies cross red lines, it delivers war fighters. Its wings don't just cast shadows, they cast messages. That America is here. That America is ready.